welcome back to the program. So this is where we come to the issue of public finance or public accounts. So if you heard all the news has been reported in the media about leakages and whatever, inadequate remittance of public monies to the government by government institutions, whether it is NNPC or any other one or the customs, the key problem could really lie at the office of the Auditor General of the Federation. That's the office that's responsible, a very big building here in Abuja, where all government books of accounts should be audited. So when the finance documents and remittances, everything are pushed out from the finance sector office, it goes into the office of the Auditor General, and with his team, they will have to use toothpicks to go through these books to find out if all the numbers look very good and are really good. So yesterday, the Auditor General of the Federation went to the Senate Committee on Public Accounts and says they've been doing a very, well, quote-unquote, bad job at auditing the government's books of accounts. And the reasons are simple. It says there is not enough technology, there is not enough automation, and that the Office of the Auditor General of Nigeria, the work they are doing is below best international practices. That's the story of our lives, isn't it? So, but why would the Senate Committee on Public Accounts help the Office of the Auditor General to get its acts together and get the Auditor General to do a better job at giving Nigeria the best books of accounts? Let's take a listen.
It is important that the responsibility we are charged with, which are to do with revenue and expenditure of all government agencies, which are well over 650. The Auditor General's office too is supposed to attend to all audited accounts of all these agencies every year. And the whole essence of it really is to ensure that there is sanity, there is transparency, there is accountability in the use and the expenditure of public funds. All the leakages we have been seeing in this country, all the corruption we have been seeing in this country is because our processes and procedures that are really supposed to be, guided, by the Parliament, by the Senate, or National Assembly, as in our case, and then, of course, the agency of government on the executive side, which is the Auditor General's office. We really have not been getting these things going. That is why you see the large-scale corruption in our country. And, of course, if you go down the provision of that constitution, we are mandated, anybody in this country, no matter how highly placed, even if you are #1 citizen, you can be summoned by this committee to come and give account of how you have spent public funds. So there is no exception to the rule. And since we came in, I've taken it as a responsibility that it is not when corruption has been done before we start using all the anti-corruption agencies, EFCC, ICPC, to start pursuing people. The statutory role that we are supposed to perform, #1, having to, appraise all the audited reports of all agencies as stipulated even in the Establishment Acts. What I mean by this is this. There is no agency of government, there is no public enterprise whose constitution or whose establishment law, that is the law establishing these agencies, whether it is customs, whether it is NNPC, whether it is Nigerian police, whether it is the army, anywhere, teaching hospitals, if you go and check their acts, the acts establishing them, it's very clear that under the portion of audited accounts, that all of them must submit their audited accounts of the preceding year, 6 months into the new year. So audited accounts of 2017, before we get to June this year, all agencies of government are supposed to submit their audited accounts, and the Auditor General is supposed to vet them and send to our committee. But I want to say that the observation over the years is that agencies of government, including the presidency, do not submit the audited accounts. I'm not saying in particular, but what we have observed is that there are even 10 agencies of government, 10 years they have not submitted audited accounts. So what moral justification has any agency of government to come for a budget when all these years the money that has been appropriated to you have not been able to account for them? In other climes, in other places, in other countries, where people, conform with, best practices and, of course, international financial regulations, it is there that if you do not submit your audited accounts, either the management of that agency is inept, is incompetent, or that the agency is moribund, meaning the agency does not exist anymore. So, but in Nigeria, they do it with impunity. And that is why you have the large-scale, corruption that you have in our system. And we believe, we have resolved, that the Auditor General's office has to be strengthened. The way it is today, the Auditor General's office is designed to fail. The Auditor General's office is designed not to do its statutory function of having to audit accounts and make sure that all areas of leakages and corruptions, these areas are plugged. Because how do you explain it? If the workforce that is needed to audit all these accounts of over 650 agencies you do not have, if the budget, the statutory allocation to them is not sufficient for them to do their job, how do you explain it for the Auditor General's office to have only 90 million in a year to do his job? Is it possible? If we have to deploy auditors to all agencies of government, that one cannot even do 1% of the number of agencies. So it's been designed. In Nigeria, what I have found out is that we spend a lot of money fighting corruption. EFCC budget for last year was about 26 billion. The one for ICPC was about 6 billion. These are the one fighting corruption. Auditor General's office that is supposed to check corruption and make sure it does not happen had a budget of less than 3 billion. So you can see that what we have as our own arrangement for now, makes it impossible for the Auditor General's office to function. And that is why from this year, we are saying that something has to be done from the executive side. There is no way my committee can recommend to Appropriation Committee of the Senate that what is required by the Auditor General's office must be increased astronomically. Because what we need really must be multiples of what has been brought. But the budget that we just considered for 2018, the same envelope for 2017. Yet there is an audit bill that is before us. That audit bill is meant to strengthen his office. The bill has been passed by the House of Representatives. And then, of course, now we in the Senate are considering this bill for it to be passed. If we pass that bill, and really we want to enhance his office, to ensure that he's able to function maximally, and ensure too that corruption is curtailed, then we really must be serious as a country that enough resources must be allocated to him or appropriated to his office so that the more desired functions, will be performed and the expectations, met. So we have just gone through this process, of appraising the 2017 performance of his office, of the Auditor General's office, and then of course we're going to do the defense of the 2018 budget.
About 234 million. We got only 101 million. Approximately, you scale down what you have planned and you execute within the limit of what was available to you.